Well, it's time to say goodbye to the '94 Buick Roadmaster wagon. Unfortunately, its frame is rotted out to the point of being unsafe. Big holes by the control arms, rear control arms. Don't want to see what happens when those let go. Anyway, it's got 207,000 miles on it too, and it's got a lot of rust. But you know, I bought this car for $550 over 3 years ago. I've put over 20,000 miles on it, and I've put very little money into it. Pretty much just a water pump and a radiator. That's really it. So it doesn't owe me a thing, but it ran so beautifully. I said I gotta save the motor, and the transmission was a recent rebuild too. Right before I got the car, I think it had maybe 15,000 on it. So say hello to the 1983 Buick LeSabre Estate wagon. And you're probably saying, Lionel, what the hell did you buy this for? Well, yes, okay. The wood grain, I guess, faded off at some point, so somebody, I think, spray painted like a satin brown. That's obviously not holding up too well, but you know, I own a 71 to 76. I've owned plenty of the 91 to 96s. I've always wanted to get a 77 to 90. Biggest problem with these for me though is boy, after 1980 they have some real low power motors. This one, as most of these did in the 80s, has the Olds 307, and like something like 240 horse or 140 horsepower, 240 foot-pounds of torque. It's real sad. Anyway, as you can see, also the car needs bumper fillers front and rear, just about like every other B-body GM would from this being this old. Anyway, this car is from Las Vegas, which was one of the appealing factors in its purchase, is that it's really got no rust. I mean, it's been in New Jersey since 2007, but was pretty much parked since then. Let's see if I can try to show you a little of the underside, and you can see what I'm talking about. So that's pretty darn good. Be hard pressed to find one of these for sale in New Jersey that's gonna look this nice. So in the white paint, with the exception of this area right here, this door is a replacement and this is a repaint, and you can see there's checking here and you can see the blue paint underneath. Other than that though, the paint is in good shape. It's a repaint. As you might imagine, Las Vegas is not too kind on paint, especially paint from the 80s. It's got a decent interior though for Las Vegas. You know, the door panels are pretty good. The dash is only cracked in 3 places, that's all. This is an interesting thing. The wood grain is peeling off. I've never seen that. I guess that's something to do with the heat down in the Southwest. These seats have been replaced. The front ones had tears in them, although they are back there. The rear ones were good. The guy I bought it from just replaced it for a sense of symmetry. Anyway, this car was bought by the previous owner in 2015, and he only put a few hundred miles on it, but he bought it. The car had been sitting pretty much since it came to New Jersey in 2007. It was driven back from Las Vegas by an older couple who were the owners, and they really didn't drive after they got it back to New Jersey, apparently. So he had to change some vacuum hoses, wires, cap, rotor. Big problem with this car, though, is, and why it was $750, is that it's got that 4-speed 204R transmission, and something wrong with it. And I think it's just the throttle valve, because the TV cable was snapped on it when I got it, and even after rigging that back, you know, sort of attaching it to the throttle, it's still not shifting. It's still not shifting right, and there seems to be the throttle, the TV cable is not pulling back properly. You know, it feels like there's very little spring on it. And I was reading that the the throttle valve, the little piston that's in there gets, I guess the cylinder that little piston is in gets scored, and the thing kind of jams up moving back. So that's probably what it is. I mean, you know, that said, I've drove it 65 miles home, and I put 154 miles on it since I bought the car. But you know, I said when I got rid of this car, I'll pull the motor out of it and save it. And here's the LT1 that's out of it. Like I say, 207,000 miles, but doesn't really burn any oil and just ran so great. I'm like, well, why throw it away? I might as well just save it. So I got to turn sideways here because I got a couple of broken off exhaust bolts that I've got some penetrant oil soaking on. Anyway, gonna do new valve cover gaskets, intake manifold gaskets, oil pan gasket, water pump, cap and rotor, and that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna drop it in here along with its transmission, which is under there somewhere, which I'll just probably just do a fluid and filter change on. The biggest problem, however, these cars' frames pretty much are identical except for one little thing. See this area right here? See how it's sort of pushed in instead of being straight like this is? That's done for the LT1's air conditioning compressor. So that is not like that on any 1993 and older B-body wagon frame. So I'm gonna have to finagle that, but it's been done. Some people say that you can do it with a hammer, which is probably what I'll do, and other more skilled people cut it out and weld a section in. So that's what I'm gonna start pretty much right away. And soon this old Buick will be LT1 powered.